Hello. Hi, everybody. I would have the overhead light on, but apparently it's doing that fritzy thing again. I don't know why. I don't know why that thing fritzes like it does sometimes. I don't want anything tonight. I'm just here to talk. Oh, and eat my mac and cheese bars and my pepper jack cheese and drink my iced coffee before I go back to sleep. Um, so for the past few days, mostly today slash yesterday and the day before, for the upper majority of the day, I've been feeling something in the heart space. Like, I don't feel like aware of my heart in terms of like the heartbeat. Like, I can't feel my heart beating. It's not like my heart is racing. I'm not having palpitations, I guess. But there is a certain lightness in that space that's been very persistent. I'm like, what's this about? Also, I took a nap, I guess, at like 8 and woke up at like 11 something. And I was like, oh, like I want to go see the moon. And apparently it's overcast tonight. So I ain't seeing nothing. And when the eclipse starts to happen, I think when it reaches like those moments where it's like golden or red, it'll be like 7 in the morning or something like that. So if you're on the west coast, yeah, if you're on the west coast, you'll be able to see it like right before the sun rises, I think. But here, it's like, well, no lit. Um, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I don't know why. I decided to come live. There was also something about those dreams I was gonna mention. I feel like whenever I lay down, I remember, but when I get up, I forget. So I guess I could, like, I'm literally on my bed right now. I could just lay down and see if it comes back to my memory. I started the Discord server, which was very easy. There's nothing on it yet, but it's up. I've been thinking about step zero lately, and I don't know if I want to do like the whole curriculum because that would be like 22 spreads. But I kind of want to do step zero and maybe because they all built off of each other more. And it's like even now, there'll be some things that like sort of play off of older things, but it's in a furthered space, which is not surprising. So I'm like, excuse me, I could do step zero, one, and two. Let me see, actually. Let me pull those up. Because then I feel like that. Oh, no. My mama just glued these. I might just buy it. It's only $1. I'll take another dollar to the dollar store. Get another pair of readers. I'm pretty rough on glasses. Um, and I only need reading glasses. They told me that I could get a prescription pair if I wanted, but if I only really needed to read, then it wasn't necessarily necessary. I think I want to get a pair of blue light glasses though, because it seems that it seems that like I'm not used to getting so much light in my eyes because they were cataracts, and it kind of tires them out pretty quick, and then they start to burn. So, especially with all these screens that I stare at. What is this? Mm. Huh? Hold up. Mm. It's actually step one. I thought that was step zero. I remember looking at step one and I was like, I feel like this should technically be step zero, but it came out under the magician energy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's do a little dummy spree. Why not? And I would like release these. Hey, Zelda, how you doing tonight? Can you see the moon where you are? I can't see the moon. It's too cloudy. Speaking of the moon, here's the moon. All right. Oh, I got this cheese stick. I don't want it to get too warm. That'd be fine. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this back up. Excuse me. Let's get some shoes. I don't know why that just popped into my mind. Let's get some shoes. Let's see. You'll hear all the click clack today. You hear that? I have to remember how I do this. Oh, okay. That's why this is on. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, what? Hold up. This is interesting. So, the Six of Pentacles came out, and the Justice card came out. And the Six of Pentacles, especially in this deck, is my. Hey, Clarinda, it's been a minute. How are you? Clarinda, are you able to see the red moon? Because I saw they said that if you're on like the west coast, you'll see it at like moonset. But if you're in like Eastern Australia or something like that, then you get to view the whole like lunar eclipse. Now, when it starts to enter the shadow, it's going to be like daylight here. So I'm like, but I haven't really been like whenever, because I think for the last super full moon, I saw the moon yesterday, but um, it's always like cloudy. I'm doing well, Zelda. Thanks for asking. How are you? You get to see the whole thing. Ugh. I think last time I was like, last year it wasn't a total lunar eclipse. Um, so I saw it, but it wasn't like, ooh, it wasn't red. Oh, that's too much. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, it's gonna be time for me to go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. You're happy it's late. Yeah, it was like 8. It was about 8 o'clock yesterday, and the sun hadn't even set yet, and the moon was like up in the sky, like huge. It was less creepy than it was in April, though. In April, I just wasn't expecting it, and it looked too big, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's freaking me out." You're just up there, like, why are you just there? Like, but it was gorgeous. See, here we go again. This is why. So this is the spread where I have it set up the way I have it set up because of how I work and operate. But already there's air coming out where there's supposed to be water. I'm like, well, why? Everything is all the elements are not where they're supposed to be. Come through court energies. Actually, hold up. There we go. Freezing cold there. I am, thank you. I know I'm like, oh, it is getting so warm here, and I am over it. I'm like, oh, I want it to be cold. Yeah, it's almost wintertime there. Who was that? Okay, I'll get another one. This is interesting. Is this collective? Sure. I mean, it's not personal, so. But yeah, then I thought about just doing like this spread one. But then I'm like, well, it wouldn't really. There we go. Well, I'm doing it. And then we'll get one more here. Um, if I could afford it, I wonder. So I got this National Geographic, and it has like 100 of the most whatever places on Earth, and I've already been to at least one of them because it was like London or something. I was like, oh, and then I saw Oxford, and then I texted my buddy. I was like, whoa, did I get two of them off the list already? And he's like, no, we were on like Oxford Street. Like Oxford Street is different than Oxford. I was like, oh, okay. So last card. It wouldn't make much sense to do step one if I don't do other steps. So that's why I'm like, but I would like to oh, Great Ocean Road. Oh snap, Mimi here. What's up? What you doing up? Can you see the moon where you at? Cause I can't see it. It's too cloudy. It's always cloudy here whenever there's a full moon. I'm like, one of the great wonders of the world. As soon as I get this card, I will look that up. Let's see. Is maybe I'm done. I'll give it two more. One more. Last one. Yeah, nothing came out. Ooh. I'm all out of iced coffee. Darn it. She just came in. She's right in between. Well, so it says Clarinda Zelda, Mimi Clarinda, Mimi Zelda. No problem, Zelda. I found the other flavors of veggie straws and Meyer. I was just looking at Walmart and I was like, oh my gosh, why don't they have the cheddar flavor veggie straws? They were so good. Why does my hometown not carry anything? Um, and then we went to Meyer and I found a whole bunch of flavors. So I was like, oh, okay. They were in Meyer. They weren't in Walmart. That's why. Great Ocean Road in Victoria. Great Ocean Road. Oh, there we go. On the road again. 12 apostles. What? What's 12 apostles? Oh, is this like the southern tip of Australia? Let's go to images. Oh, see? Oh, snap. What? What are these? Putting this on the list of things to see. Catch me at Great Ocean Road like next year. I might go in the winter time though, because then I can escape the summer. All the landmarks. You left and came back in. Mimi said she didn't block you, Florinda. She said, LOL, no, never. Can you see me now? And she left and came back in. Do you have to refresh, Clorinda? Would that help? I don't know. Yes. So that's next year. I was like, oh, what are these? So this is interesting. Fire came out where fire is supposed to be, so that's nice. You can't. Okay. She said she'll refresh, maybe. Fire is where fire is supposed to be. Air is where water is supposed to be. Earth is where air is supposed to be. And then strength is sitting in the space of earth. What's interesting here, though, is because with this, how did I write this? It's almost like we're starting with minor justice with the giver, and we're working towards the space of true justice with the chancellor. There, I can see it on my screen now. Working towards true justice with the chancellor, but with the seeker, it's like we can encounter roadblocks, I guess, with getting there. And like understanding, it's understanding what justice truly is, or what a more like grander scale. Hey, there we go. It's like understanding what justice is from a non-personalized perspective, outside of us and what we think we deserve and how we think we should be treated and what we feel that we're immune to down here, stuff like that. The Nine of Wands, the Malleus, is at the bottom of the deck. And then the Wheel of Life is here as the sort of thing that ties minor justice to major justice. It's just like life. Life will teach you. So then, let me see. So we have the discerning one here. Oh, snap. Is she? No, probably. So one of my friends, she was talking about the Akashic record last year, and after she talked about it, I found this girl on YouTube. Actually, I might be able to just look and see. One second. I found somebody on YouTube and I sent it to her. And she was like, I go to the Akashic records like all the time. Oh my gosh! She's online and she's first. I've never seen her. Girl, why are you awake? Why are you awake? Go to bed. No, this girl is Supermoon Tarot. Okay. Somebody else. Mm. Okay. Ooh. I might watch that later. Maybe not. I might go to bed later. One second. So with the discerning one, I feel like the discerning one is right on brand. You're about to book a session. Oh. The discerning one is on brand with going from this giver energy to the chancer, from like minor justice to major justice. And I mean, when it comes to the context of all of life, it would definitely help us sort of be able to pick out which experiences lead us to realization. I like that word. I think so. This is actually the challenge here. When it makes sense. It's in the space of water, in the space of like space of feelings, emotions, connectivity, watery things. We have judgment and the Archangel Commander. This is a challenge again when it's about us learning to not be so self-focused when we think of justice in the moment. Because like this, I feel like it could be easy for us to feel wronged in a certain situation and then be closed off from the very thing that we're trying to discern in a certain situation. It's like it's not open to be discovered. So then, excuse me, and this is different than how it would read. Oh, wow. I know because I watched Heal on Netflix, and my aunt said that she does tapping. My aunt says she does a lot of stuff. I'm like, what? You in here doing all this stuff? You ain't tell me nothing. Got me just out here in the wilderness roaming. um, it would be different in the context of like going through the entire curriculum. So in the space of air, it's the ebony shield, Queen of Pentacles. Honestly, she's giving me Queen of Pentacles in the Spencer's Dryad vibes with all the like the nature around her, very sort of like fairy queen, but like ABBA, fairy queen. Who's that girl? And it's interesting because in this deck, the Wheel of Fortune is the Wheel of Life. And she's coming up are feeling very much so like an aspect of the natural world. Now, with it being a shield, I feel like her role changes depending on the space that we're in, which makes sense why she's sitting in the position of air. It feels like when we're in a good space, when we're more in the side of discernment, then she reveals the mysteries of life to us, or she sort of can tell us how things are interconnected. But when we're in the space of feeling like emotionally, what's the word for like warring? I feel like she can be like very reserved and very not. that sort of natural element when we're in this space of like seeking justice, vengeance, when we're in in a more vengeful space or in a space where we feel wrong. Okay. I might like tapping for me isn't something that I'm personally into, but I might check her out. I don't know what this symbol is, but I feel like it's saying something. That one, the A inside the omega. Oh, the alpha and omega. The A is alpha. So tapping, from my understanding, it's like if there's something up with you, you can like tap certain like parts of the body and you put some intention behind the tap or something and it does something. That's my very vague, extremely limited, probably not it, knowledge of what tapping is. And I saw it in Heal, the documentary on Netflix. It wakes the brain and changes the vibration. Oh. And so that's she's carrying this energy of like she either permits or prohibits in our experience. But it's like her reservation. Yeah, I got Discord. 5 taps per issue. We hit one of the chest, one of the abdomen. Uh, I feel like her willingness to give is tied to our ability to be vulnerable or comfort with vulnerability, which makes sense because this is the energy that we're starting with. We're starting with the giver, right? And so to receive in a certain situation, we have to be willing to give in that situation. We can't receive anything that we are incapable of giving. And so it's like she plays this out. She takes the stance of almost setting being the boundary in what we experience in our lives, but she's sitting in the space of the mind. And this is a heart that is in turmoil. So probably not great. Ah, that makes sense. And then in the space of earth, we have strength. And this feels like we're the lion, spirit is the angel. That's us having these maybe challenges in the space of emotions. Because I'm looking at the looks like the water or the lion is on top of water. And spirit's like trying to force us to, it feels like, when you have a pet and it eats something that it isn't supposed to eat and you like try to force it out of their mouths. Like that's what this feels like. And so the challenge here lies in the realm of emotion and connectivity with the Archangel Commander and Judgment. But we feel like the challenge is over here in fire with the discerning one. Like we would think that the challenge is like learning to parse like truth from fiction. But it's almost like, well, you would naturally be able to do that. And you would naturally be assisted in that with this energy if you weren't so stubborn and fixed in what you think right and wrong is. Or it's not even what you think right and wrong is, it's just it feels like a need for vengeance. It feels like a need to be for something to be like personally rectified. And it's a very I don't know, it's a very sort of self-centric view on like laws of receptivity or centered around receiving, getting the experience, the life that you want, that you feel entitled to, that you deserve. You feel that you deserve. And I like that we have like it looks like we're seeking justice with the seeker and the chancellor over here. And then like maybe justice takes off her blindfold, she drops the sword in the scales and she gets down into the ring and wrestles the wrestles the lion. So there's something in that sextile between Libra and Leo. And then like where this leads, it's the archangel of mysteries. If we can learn to successfully navigate this, then it almost feels like in part a lot of the mysteries of the world would be revealed to us. But it's also because like that's what this energy does. It's like if we were in a space to receive the truth, then she would give it to us. We would experience it, we would live it. And the thing that she's offering feels like the same thing that's being kept away from us right here. But we would never get it from her. It's very much like I can I like alcohol. I like feeling drunk. I like pretending to be drunk after I drink. It annoys some people, but I like it. It annoyed like one person, but he wasn't that great of a friend anyway. Um, I actually had some wine after I got my hair done. It was good. It was and I don't really like wine. I'm not a huge wine person, but it was I know it was barefoot. Sangria. It was a sangria. It was so good. It's like the thing that she's offering is the same thing that's being hidden here. So it almost feels like the Wizard of Oz, where like we go on this long journey, initiated maybe by this Queen of Pentacles to find the King of Pentacles, the Archangel of Mysteries, that then reveals the mystery. And then the King of Pentacles is like, oh, you've already met the Ebony Shield. Well, she's the one that like actually has the answer. She's the one that has what you're looking for. It's weird that she didn't just give it to you because it's like Glinda. What Glinda comes in at the end of the movie, it's just like, oh girl, like if you want to go home, just like click those shoes that I gave you like when you first got into Oz 3 times and say that there's no place like home and you'll be there. And it's like, well, Glinda, why did you make me go all the way to like the wizard for you to just tell me what you could have told me when you gave me these shoes? Like, there's a reason. Ooh, what is this? I didn't even look at this. I think this is a solar cross. I don't know if I've ever paid attention. You see in the discerning one, like that thing in the sky up there? I'm like, whoa, what is that? And there's actually 4 wands in this card. There are the 2 traditional wands, and then there's the double Vajra, which is like 2 more wands. But those last 2 wands are crossed. So it feels like as we venture beyond the stuff that will fuel. Oh, and it's wine? Woo! That sounds like moonshine. Something like that. I was with my friend one day and she had some Everclear. I was like, I just want to drink it. Like, give me a shot. She was like, I'm not giving you a whole shot of Everclear. So I took half a shot and I was like, yeah. And then I went to sleep. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go to bed now. But it wasn't terrible. I think I liked it better than vodka. I'm not a huge vodka fan. I much prefer tequilas, whiskeys, bourbon whiskeys. I like bourbons. Um, but it feels like once we sort of enter this first gateway, then we go through this series of challenges that uncrosses the double Vajra that makes it the second gateway. So when these two stand upright, that's when we get that 1111. And I guess fun fact, the eclipse starts at 1111 UTC. Like that's when the moon starts to enter Earth's shadow, I think. I was like, "What?" And then beyond the establishment of those two gates, it leads us up here to whatever is in there. Oh, look, that's another wheel. And there are sphinxes on this wheel of life. So maybe it reveals a little bit of the mystery that these two sphinxes. Oh, I've never noticed that. On the scale, the sphinx on top of the scale, the sphinx on top of the wheel has a scale pattern on it. And that's what this journey is about. It's about moving from a minor justice to major justice. Now, pre-justice isn't even here. So wherever the Queen of Swords is, let's look and see. Maybe she'll give us a little extra context. Whew. Well, I guess if it's made from like grapes, though, it would be more of a wine. Oh wow! I just used this deck, or I just shuffled these. The sun and the moon are together with the sacred cinnabar, Ace of Swords. There, that's interesting. And then not only are the sun and the moon together, but the Hierophant and the High Priestess are right next to each other as well. So there is some alignments behind alignments going on here. Oh. So yeah, I mean more context around. So this is the card I went looking for because the Queen of Swords is like pre-justice, right? And so this would kind of sort of sit on top of the Wheel of Fortune, what takes us from minor justice to major justice. Well, she came out between the Dark Horse and the Queen of Wands, the Golden Shield. So it's like it's our ability to sort of maintain a certain position in the space of opposition, in the space of uncertainty, in the space of darkness. It's like we hold the line, but it's like so as we evolve in this space, it's like this is connected with this other space in some way. And I guess there are two sphinxes on the wheel, the one on top and the one on the bottom. Oh, wait, that's the sphinx on the bottom that has the scales on it. Did I have this card upside down? I had this card upside down. I was like, well, look at this sphinx on top. I was like, girl, that's the sphinx on the bottom. But this is where it all begins. Like, this isn't even, well, not necessarily where it all begins, but it's almost like this is a space that is very new, not yet too much explored. That's why we end with the Archangel of Mysteries and why the Seeker is sort of It's like what to incorporate. It's the realm in which we are expanding, in which we're being asked to expand. So even though this is like different, it's not too far off. So when it comes to air or the element of air, it's for us to be more earthy. What's that? Excuse me, like more nurturing, right? It isn't completely removed from the element of air. The Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords have a lot in common, especially if it comes to the space of something that is not befitting the Queen of Pentacles, then she's not going to give any time, energy, or effort to it. Like she's not. She's not the Queen of Cups. She's not going to be out here just giving to everybody willy nilly because they ask for it or because they make puppy dog eyes. Queen of Pentacles is like, if it's not gonna grow, I'm not gonna like give anything to it. Like it's already dead. But it's like it's closer to the Queen of Cups than the Queen of Swords is. And it's like for me the distinction sometimes lies in that like the Queen of Swords will call what the Queen of Pentacles can still nurture, but the Queen of Swords is not the Queen of Pentacles. So it's not to be like, oh, like the Queen of Pentacles just has to do whatever. Or the Queen of Swords just has to do whatever because it's asking the Queen of Swords to appear in a space in which she's not meant to. Now, when it comes to the element of earth and with the force here, I feel like this is us sort of being forced to change old habits, being forced to break patterns. That's why Uranus is in Taurus right now because it's going to bust it up. And either we can do it on our own because the North Node is in this card, like right there. We can do it on our own. And it's, I feel like it would be preferred that we do it on our own and that we don't need to be forced because it's like when the angel comes down. Let me minimize this real quick. When the angel comes down and does it for us, you can see it blocks this the double Ouroboros in the back. This is basically the magician energy. So it takes us out of our power and it takes us out of our manifestive ability when we need other forces to come in and step in and force us to do things, make us do things, or to do things for us. It eclipses what is sort of our natural right to discover, especially with this Archangel of Mysteries. But that's almost like that's why it continues to remain a mystery. My North Node is in Sagittarius. So that's Earth. And then in water, fire is coming out with the discerning one, which is the space of vision. And it's like right now, and it's not surprising, Jim and I. So here it's like there are multiple perspectives that are sort of like given to us. Some of them more open than others. So we have a pair of wands that are crossed that sort of sit in the space of like prohibiting. And then we have the two parallel wands, which form a sort of gateway, which is the space of permitting. And then we got that thing in the sky up there, which is a mystery in and of itself. But this is for us almost, it's a call for us to build our own vision. And with the discerning one, it's like there are certain. Your North Node is in Virgo? What? I feel like my North Node should be in Virgo. I feel like I would feel the challenge of it being in Virgo because Virgo is an energy that I'm not well versed in. But I guess it's not important for me to be Virgo in this life, so I'll take it. um, Maybe in this context, more than like what you should be heading towards, it feels like the area that you'll naturally expand into as you're sort of doing all that you need to do, as you take care of the things that you need to take care of. It's like you naturally find your space in the place of the North Node. Um, it's like a natural destination. Like if you're on a roller coaster, right? You don't have to dictate and determine where the roller coaster goes. It you know follows the path that's before it. You just got to not get ejected from the roller coaster. So, you know. And then over here on the water side with Archangel Commander and Apocalypse. Hey, look, there's another lion. Well, I did say that. Whoa, hold up, wait. This is interesting because in the space of connectivity, you're too lazy. In the space of connectivity, within the context of this felt like the challenge. But from a almost a grander perspective, this feels like where the gift lies. Because it's like if we can navigate everything, again, it was here. If we have the strength to not be forced to do the things that we need to do, if we have the strength to, if we have the courage to sort of go about doing it without calling down another energy to do it for us. Like when we're the lion and we don't need to be forced to do anything, then we come into the power of the Archangel Commander. It's like this, it's the space of like those DNA upgrades and stuff. And it turns us into this. Like that's our sword. Like those are our powers, right? That again, it's like something that's being held up by this Archangel of Mysteries. Something that this ebony shield can present to us in the beginning of the journey if we, a lot of times we got to take the long way around. So that's fine. It is what it is, right? But that's what we come into when the lion is like, yeah, don't need to be forced to do nothing no more. And then maybe it's the same angel. Oh, but this angel was justice. Because it's like she took her blindfold off, she dropped the sword and the scales to get down and force us to do whatever she's forcing us to do. But now, again, when we don't need her to do this, she sits in justice with the scales. And one of those things, this thing, that's the thing that the emperor is holding that isn't the Ankh that was given to him. Hey, screaming for the last 24 hours. Oh my gosh. That's the thing that the emperor is giving us. Oh, and then that would be the Ankh. Because it's some kind of fern or some kind of plant. So that's life. That's the other thing. I don't know what it is, but you see you see that cross motif repeated. It's in balance though. But anyway, the sword. That's what I said. Hey Zelda. So when we have the feminine and masculine inheritances, endowments, bestowments in balance, then she presents the sword, right? And I was trying to say before I went on that whole tangent, it's like when we don't need the chancellor to come down and play, babysitter, I guess, force us to do stuff, then she extends something out, right? Because this is the good lion that doesn't have to be forced. She extends something to us. And the only other thing in her hand, the thing that she's presenting, the thing that she's holding out, is the sword. Which again, when I said like this is our power, it represents our power. Like that's what she gave us. Because we didn't need to be forced to do whatever now. Now we hold this sword. And the apocalypse is judgment day. So, interesting. And then whatever we do with that sword, that's why the Archangel of Mysteries is here. Because it's like it's different for everybody. And so how it plays out for you isn't necessarily going to be the same as how it plays out for somebody else. Um, and it also feels like it's deeply connected to who we are. And I'm looking at the head of Medusa right here. And is there anything at like 27, 28 degrees Taurus? Because I know Algol is like 26, 27 degrees Taurus, and that's the head of Medusa in the Perseus constellation. Black Moon Lilith is almost there. So Black Moon Lilith is approaching Algol right now. Oh, and then the Archangel of Mysteries, it would make sense if Black Moon Lilith was like, yeah, girl, here's the truth of who I am. And the bottom of the deck now is the Hollow Void. And I don't know why, but last time it's like we have this cloud. Hold up, let me see. There's two or three planets. That makes sense. Because they're in like Gemini right now. So we have this cloud that's presenting the cup to this person. But this cloud, at least last time, like that's the one that felt more Jupiterian. Like Jupiter. Or Zeus. Or some kind of sky deity energy. But as long as we're so absorbed within self, it's like we miss it. And then this will of life, this reminds me of this whole thing actually reminds me of all of those times the Ace of Swords kept coming out in the Tarot Apocalypsis. And it was coming out with these runes. And it's like life will teach you what these runes are and how they work and how they operate. To the ones who can listen and hear and I guess speak. It may be important to speak at times. I don't know. Life itself teaches. And again, like there's some kind of connection between life as this construct that as this thing that we all participate in, and this energy that's a very sort of natural. It's like she comes on behalf of this. And look, there's the Triskelion or the Triskel. Hey, I know my Celtic threes, or one of them. The Triquetra is on the Queen of Cups, so she's not here. But yeah, she feels like some kind of embodiment or representative of this energy as well. Oh. You see the sphinxes and these giant orbs? This is old. Oh, see, this is why when we reach here, she sends us back here. Because her being the embodiment of whatever this energy is, like, this is the energy that created these orbs like a long time ago. But it's like, when God made you, he knew, the divine knew, it's like the fullness of your potential, the fullness of your path, the fullness of your trajectory. And if this energy is in communion with the wheel of life, or is in some ways an embodiment of the will of life, it would make sense that this energy also knows what that mystery is. Ooh, I like that. So it's a little jumbled up. It's a little mixed up. I guess I'm not surprised because I know that I'm weird, and I know that in some ways I'm wired differently. So I don't know why I expect for things to come out how I built it. All right. Well, I'm about to end this here anyway. I'm gonna go back outside. Hopefully the clouds have moved so I can see the moon before I go to bed. If not, then I guess I'll just wake up at like 5 in the. Oh, see, look, here's that magician, the double snake, the double Ouroboros that the angel was blocking because the lion needed the angel to come down and stop it from eating something that it shouldn't eat. There's the magus, and so at the cut, it's the magus with the wheel of life. Life is where all of those elements sort of naturally play together anyway. This is how we kind of sort of take those elements and try to recreate or create whatever it is that we desire to create. So, I don't know why I said it like that. Have a lovely night. I thought you were a Virgo. Ooh, the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, the Two of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Tower is coming to the Ace of Pentacles to make room for Two Cups, which is cute. The Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, see, that's like rubbing two pennies together and getting the whole fortune. The Two of Cups. It went from the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Cups to the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So those pentacles did something to multiply. Oh, Taurus North Node. Gotcha. 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 Good night. Okay. One last card. Oops, who was that? I got you. You're right here. Gotcha. The Memory Keeper. Bottom of the deck. I told you. There he is. And there's the thing that was on, like, these are the things that were in the scales. But in the Chancellor, they look different. It's this Emperor energy. I don't know what this is, but Emperor energy lately feels like it's like trying to bestow. But maybe bestow isn't quite right because with the Memory Keeper, and it didn't even come out. It's like it made a noise. And sometimes when cards make a noise, I'm shuffling so fast that I lose them. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna make note of you, and then I'll pull you out. And it was this Memory Keeper. It feels like something. It's like if we are divine at our core, it's like the oldest part of us would be what is most central to our being. And then as we get older, things sort of grow out from there. And then somewhere along the way, somehow, some way, in some space or whatever, that disconnect comes. But this is taking us back to the source. The memory keeper and the giver are connected, and that one keeps and one gives, right? The giver is the Six of Pentacles. The memory keeper is the Six of Chalices, Six of Cups. This is Sun in Scorpio. The Emperor is the Emperor. So, no problem. Excuse me. There he is again. What's up with this Emperor? Oh, I wanted to pull some other cards, but it's fine because I gotta go now. I hope you'll have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. That so when I read these spreads, it's different. Like that's why, like in the graphic, I kind of sort of stopped doing it a little bit. A little bit. I was like, wait, hold up. So I have like the base spread, which is how I originally built it, and then for the sake of the curriculum, I took those spaces and I formatted it to wherever these spreads fit within the series of like 22 spreads, right? But this was sort of step one. And in step one, I left space for the elements: water, air, earth, and fire. And this is the one, kind of sort of like today, but it was less extreme today. Or maybe by this point, like I'm less shocked. Like I know it's going to happen, that there are going to be elemental energies that appear in places where I wouldn't expect them. But water and fire, actually, no, no, it wasn't. Take that back. Anyway, I already talked about all of it. This is like when I first did it with somebody else, though, I was like, oh my gosh, why are these elements like in places where they shouldn't be? I don't understand this. And then I'm looking at like what the element sort of stands for in context of whatever, because this is step one, so it builds off of step zero. And so with the context of step zero, it made reading this easier for how it came out in a space where I had no clue. I'm like, I don't know what this is, because like the way I made up spiritually on a soul level, my makeup is different. And so I don't interact with the world in this way. Like my elemental connections sort of run different. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, girl, I don't know what this is. But we figured it out. So, maybe that one experience has taught me to be more flexible and malleable and allowing and just to be more open, I guess, to how the story tells itself. So I don't know. I kind of want to step one, like some people, but then again, it's like if I'm not going to run through any other parts of the curriculum, then it doesn't really make sense to step one. Um, but I guess it would just be, for me, it would be like just good to know energetically in some way, like how other people are wired. I forgot about my cheese stick. Oh, now it's so soft. It's going back in the fridge. No, I'll just eat it. Yeah, it's going back in the fridge. Uh, it would just be good to know. Like, it's like if you're new to astrology, right? And like Libras and Scorpios and Sagittariuses and Pisces and Aries and Cancers and Capricorns, how you can kind of sort of pull on certain traits of those people. Or like if you know a number of people, then you can generalize some of the traits within them to generalize energy until you really sort of like get to know it. It would be like that, right? It's like, oh, for this other person that has this like where all the elements are flipped, then it's like this is like kind of sort of how they like work or operate. And so this may be beneficial to you. I don't know. It is something that I've been thinking about a lot. And there is somebody, I don't want to say I want to initiate into the curriculum because that sounds weird. Actually, there are a few people. But then, like, again, like 22 whole spreads, like, but it may not be that bad. And all 22 may not be needed. Because I could honestly do like steps 0, 1, and 2. I think 0, 1, and 2. And then you just like live life. That would do whatever. He's earth, air, you're water, fire. See, but like even beyond that, because I feel like I don't know if my birth chart necessarily like I can see my birth chart being like who I am in this incarnation or who I'm supposed to be in this incarnation, but on a deeper, more timeless level, in an aspect and in a way, or in a sense where like it's a more timeless sort of me, then that's when it's like things are different. Cause I'm more like I'm more water and earth dominant, but on a soul level, I could see myself being like fire and air dominant. And it would make sense that I'm earth and water dominant in this incarnation because that's what I need to learn. I need to learn how to be more nurturing and compassionate and caring and not to be as quick to just like cut the connection and then burn the ends of the rope so it can't like cauterize it, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Because I have a lot of water in my chart. And it's not that you can't have water in your chart and struggle with feelings, but like I kind of sort of struggle with emotion sometimes, or I would struggle with emotion sometime. And I'm like, this is too much. Like I'm feeling too much. I'd rather just boom, cut them off. No more feelings. Be done with it. Um, 10 aspects to Venus, and you have 10 aspects to Mars. Oh, wow. All right. Well, this is where I'm going to end this. Hopefully, I can see the moon. So I can look on a soul level and interchange the elements. Hopefully, I can see the moon. I will catch y'all probably later today. Since it is today, let's get a little sneak peek at what the calendar says for today. Oh, well, here is a synchronicity, I guess, that just keeps hitting me. Full flower moon, it's the total lunar eclipse visible in parts of North America. Visible in parts of North America, but it's going to be like daytime. So, is it? Certain Mayan peoples believed that during a lunar eclipse, a jaguar or ant swallowed the moon. That's what later holds. The jaguar or the ant? The jaguar. An ant swallowed the moon? What? And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of times you see jaguars, they don't really hunt in packs or in groups, I don't think. But ants are always sort of like in groups. So I guess you can get the scout ants when you get a lone ant, like going in, scoping a place out, trying to find the sugar, and then all the ant buddies come. I don't know. All right. We'll look at it later. Have a lovely whatever, whenever, and I will catch you when I catch you. Maybe I won't. Maybe that was it. You know what? Let's do that. because I do actually have stuff I need to do before I go on vacation. So we'll look at this right now, especially since, I'm going to go to sleep and the eclipse will have already happened by the time I wake up. So let's see. Oh, it's right here. Certain Mayan peoples believe that during a lunar eclipse, a jaguar or ant swallowed the moon. This jaguar in the picture almost looks like a tiger up front because of the stripes. Because it has stripes instead of, I will, because it has stripes like right there instead of the spots. So it almost looks like it could be a tiger. Unless they all look like that, and I just ain't know. Yeah, this will be it today. I need to start like doing laundry and stuff too. I need to pick out the clothes I'm gonna take instead of trying to do it last minute. Oh gosh, that's too much. Oh well. Oh, this is interesting because these cards came out yesterday, and one of these came out before. So the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands came out. The Page of Cups is at the bottom of the deck, with the Page of Pentacles behind her. Now we saw the Page of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles yesterday, sort of in the space of that vision of the future. A Tigwar, a Jiger. I think it's similar energy to what came out yesterday. But it feels like the sun is rising here. And so it does almost give an energy of like timelines. And I'm noticing the flowers that are blooming too in the bottom of this Nine of Wands. This is my favorite Nine of Wands card because she's not like battered and bruised. The Malay's Nine of Wands was at the bottom of the deck as I talked. Okay, yeah, this is timelines. The Malay's Nine of Wands was at the bottom of the deck when I did that little sort of spread, right? But this Nine of Wands isn't beat up. The Nine of Wands in the SKT, she's beat up. And she's like using that wand to hold herself up because if she let it go, she'd be on the ground. But this is one that has held the line. It's almost like this is the one that's like everything that spread was talking about. We have to find, we have to embody, we have to become in order to like get that sword gifted to us to get those DNA upgrades and to become that archangel commander. This is an energy that's positioned to do that. And it feels like the abundance is starting to come in. And then like, look, there's that magic trick right there. Like that little bit of magic. With the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, this is starting to begin now. I love it. Like we have the seed and we have the water to nurture it. And it's going to take a lot of water. Oh, look, the flowers in the tree. And then the flowers in the ground. There is this as above, so below, flowering, blossoming, blooming, but it's the blooming of the self here that awakens higher. It's not that it awakens the higher self, maybe it initiates different levels of communication, or it puts us in a position to more embody aspects of our higher self. I've never seen this goat. Where did that goat come from? I've never seen that little white goat. What the what? And I remember earlier I saw the Knight of Pentacles. And in the Knight of Pentacles, there was a deer way back. This goat is a lot closer. And it feels sacred. It feels like this goat would be one of the animals that would be sacred to a deity who has an association with hunting of the forest, like Diana, um, or Artemis. Because I know I looked into one of the dudes. It wasn't Menelaus. Was it Menelaus? I don't know. Eve came in and she said something about a dude, and he ended up killing. He was boasting about his hunting prowess, and he ended up killing one of Diana's sacred beasts, and she was furious, and he had to sacrifice his daughter for that. Maybe that's his daughter. Maybe his daughter became one of the girls that followed Artemis. Artemis is Diana. And then who would this be? This, I have no clue. Um, but like goats, they can eat anything, and they also like have the ability to scale and climb like sheer surfaces. Like things that would be very, very difficult to navigate, they sort of do it with ease. The goat is coming through, it's an energy of like a steep ascent. And it's a journey that could be very difficult. It probably has been difficult, which is why it feels like a lot of people may not have necessarily been able to hold the line in the space where like things were the darkest. They held the line until the sun came up. And since they did that, they're going to be moving into this Ten of Pentacles space a bit prematurely, but it's like they've completed what they needed to do. They held the light until the sun rose, until day started to break. Now they can sort of, it's like now they're going to be relieved of their guard. It's a very Cicero energy. But Cicero retired. He went and like made a farm, and he lived on the farm. He was a venerated and celebrated war hero who could have had so much, but he was like, I don't want all that. Just give me a farm and never ask me for anything ever again. Never ask me to go to a battlefield ever again. Just give me a plot of land, and that's it. Independence, faith, and motivation. Gotcha. This Page of Cups feels like one of the sea nymphs or one of those energies that ran from gods or ran from dudes back in the day. And they were transformed into a tree, like Daphne, transformed into whatever, so that they could escape the male grasp. But it feels like they're being given their form back here. Hmm, I don't know. And maybe it's because of this new emperor energy that's coming in. It's like it doesn't have to run from it. It doesn't have to hide from it anymore. And it's like, yeah, her post is ending. Now this feminine energy, she can soften up and she can go back to being a goddess associated with growth and nurturing and care rather than being a goddess of like battle. That's what this is. She doesn't have to be that anymore because masculine energy is changing in a space. That's what that feels like. And the jaguar, I know it was like a sacred animal. I forget exactly what it did or what it represents. I've read it before. All right, that's what I got. I will catch y'all hopefully tomorrow. I'm forcing myself. I'm not gonna force myself. Yeah, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Welcome to Gemini season. I'm just playing. I'm a Pisces. I can be indecisive on my own. um, if I'm back tomorrow, I'm back tomorrow. If I'm not, I'm not. There is a lot of like trip stuff that I really want to do because I keep procrastinating it. So I'm gonna go. I'll catch y'all later and have a good whatever, whenever. Happy lunar eclipse, happy full moon, happy introduction to the next 6 month cycle. Happy all that stuff, I guess. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye.